Hello and welcome back to 100 Yards of Football, Sports Talk Radio. I'm your producer, Jeremiah Long, and today we're talking about the UCLA Bruins with my dude, Logan Landers. How's it going, sir?
Hey, what's going on, Jeremiah? Our last team preview of the morning here. We're doing a lot of good shows, man. We're talking about the Bruins today to round things out. Ready to talk about this team, man.
Absolutely. And so the UCLA Bruins, the University of California, Los Angeles Bruins, they are a team that has a little more clout, and maybe you've heard of them more from their basketball team, or maybe you know about them from their amazing anthropology department. But I'll tell you this one thing, they are a great football team. And the reason that we are doing breakdowns on the UCLA Bruins is because we want to make sure the fandom is supported. And that's what we do here at 100 Yards of Football. We are a program that will cover all of the best teams. If you go back and watch, if you love college football team breakdowns, we've broken down most of the great teams across all sides. So The UCLA Bruins, we've been just as excited to cover them as any of the teams that you're super acquainted with. But I'll tell you one thing, the UCLA Bruins fandom and their community is strong, and it's one that we want to support. So thank you so much to the Bruins fans who are watching, and thank you so much to everyone who shares our shows with their friends and family, tells us about it, throws us a review on the podcast channels, and everything else. So without further ado, Mr. Landers, what does the UCLA Bruins community have to look forward to this season, and what should the rest of football be looking out for so that they don't have to underestimate this team?
Yeah, you're just hoping to get rid of 2020. They went 3-4 last year, so not the best record all in all. You were hoping that they could come in with a little bit of a better record under Chip Kelly, the former Eagles head coach from back in the day. He's coming into his fourth season now. Not the best record, but it's all right, though, because the offense is starting to shape up the way he's been wanting to, because we all know how much of an offensive guru he is from his time both in college as well as in the NFL. So he's hoping to get those pieces set. And in 2020, they looked pretty good, Jeremiah. They got around 450 yards a game, about 35 points per game as well. So they looked pretty good in spurts. But can it continue into a full 2021 season? Because like I said, they only played in 7 games last year. Now they're going to a full season. They don't have hopefully no cancellations, fingers crossed, knock on wood, any other superstitions you can have. Mm-hmm. So they're having a full season. And I think that this team is ready to take that next step, shed that below 500 record, and move up in the rankings, I think. So let's talk about their offense, because that's where the key is for this team. They have 10 starters who are going to be coming back, so that's great. You have your quarterback situation already set in stone. You have Dorian Thompson-Robinson, who's going to be your guy coming into this year, a good runner, a great accurate passer, and he's effective too. So you have a good quarterback, which a few of the teams we've talked about in the past, Jeremiah, they sometimes have a little bit of a question mark as to who their quarterback is going to be coming into this year. But at UCLA, no need to worry. You have Mr. Robinson as your guy to go to. You also have you also have your backup coming back as well in case anything ever happens, and Chase Griffin. So that's always good to see. But the big thing for me is you have your leading receiver, Greg Dulcich, is coming back. 6'4", 242. Man, he is great. Also, you also have amazing Mike Martinez coming back as well. Kyle Phillips is going to be doing some good work as well, who had 38 catches last year. So I think that all the receiving targets are going to be coming back. They're going to be looking good. And I think this UCLA offense is, I think, going to take that next step, man, into just full-on consistency in 2021. Yeah. But unfortunately, like it is in college football, it's hard to get everyone back because you lost Demetric Felton, who was your leading rusher. But you also have Britton Brown, who's going to be coming in, carrying the load this year. He averaged around 6 yards a rush last year, so not bad at all. Got about 500 yards and a few touchdowns as well. You also have Keegan Jones as well, who's going to be coming in, adding a good bit of flash to that program and to that running back game as well. So you lost your leading rusher, but you have some guys who are going to be hoping that they can come in and take that next step and really hope to get that rushing attack on par with that passing game as well. So you might have lost your starter, but it is okay. Now, as for the O-line, the big boys up front, It's good for UCLA because you have all 5 starters who are returning, who paved the way to the nation's 12th best running game last year, and was pretty solid in pass protection as well. Like I said, you did lose Felton, but you are going to have some guys who know that, look, this offensive line can get it done. They can get some good holes for me, and now it's up for the running backs to break through those holes and rush off for a nice 50-yard touchdown. So I think that UCLA is set for offense. They have a lot of good guys. They have an amazing offensive line, like I just mentioned. The quarterback is on par, and the running back game, they need to take a next step up, I think. And this offense could be something special. As for their defense, it was pretty solid last year. It was pretty solid. They led the Pac-12 in sacks, and they were pretty decent as well. But the only thing is that they gave up a lot of points. While the pass rush and everything was there, they gave up a bunch of points. They gave up about 410 yards and about 35 points a game last year. So you got to improve on that because, like I said, the offense is there. Just the defense needs to come up with it and improve a little bit. So you did lose a few guys to the NFL, but it's all right, though, because I think they'll be just fine. You have Caleb Johnson, who's a top pass rusher. They're still there. He's 6'1", 230, a linebacker who can do really anything you want him to do. So that's always great to see. He led the team last year with 44 tackles and also 5.5 sacks. So glad to have him coming back for this Bruins team. Bo Calvert as well added a little bit more size on the inside. And you also have Mitchell Agude, who is another really good guy, great tackles for losses. He can do anything you want there as well. So you have a few bright spots on this defense. While you did lose one of you guys to the Dallas Cowboys, it's all right, though, because you have a few guys who are going to be able to step up as well, such as Donta Jackson, who's going to be coming into this rotation. And I think he's really going to help out. So you might have lost a guy or two, but it's all right, though, because you have some guys who have been at this program, who know this system, who are going to be coming into 2021 ready more than ever to help out this Bruins team. Now, as for the secondary, man, they did pretty good. They were able to get a lot of turnovers last year, but like I said, with those turnovers, there was also a lot of points given up. So they came up with a lot of turnovers, like I mentioned, and the pass defense just needs to improve. They allow about 275 yards a game. So you got to step it up over there. Like I said, you might get a few interceptions and everything, a few turnovers, but you can't give up close to 300 yards. That's going to be hurtful for any team, regardless of whoever you are. Stephen Blaylock was really a really good key for them last year. Their safety at 42 tackles along with 2 interceptions. You had Quentin Lake and Knight, who can also just lay the wood on that team. They're looking pretty good as well. So, like I said, this team is definitely more of an offensive happy type of team here. They're going to put up a lot of points, but you just hope that the defense can come up to par with it and not give up as many points. And really just overall, I think that if UCLA can come into 2021 with their great offensive attack and their defense can take that next step in allowing not as many points and not as many yards, that this Bruins team could be fine. Like I say, just improve that pass defense and you should be fine. The defense got torched at times last year, but I think that they're going to be trying to turn a new leaf. And let me look at their schedule real quick. They are having a decent schedule. I'm looking here. I see just a few teams off the top of my head. I see USC, one of their rivals, of course, in California. I see Oregon, Washington, Stanford, and also LSU from the SEC. So I think that UCLA is going to have a good season all in all. I think they're going to shed that under 500 record that they had last year. With a full season now, I expect them to do some big things. And like I said, last year with everything kind of going on, it was kind of a weird situation for a lot of teams. I think they should be fine this year. I expect UCLA to be very good this year.
Yeah, I think UCLA will be good this year. And I know all the fans, they're just waiting to get back and have a full season where they can sit in the stands, they can go to the tailgates, they can have a great time with their community, and they can go out and watch some football games. And, I'll tell you this. Whether or not the Bruins, win the entire entire football championship or not, or whether they just have a great season, or whether they fall under 500 this year. This season will be the first season back where they get to really give a chance, and they have a full chance for that. And there are some great players in this team. There's some great coaching staff, and everyone is looking forward to finally getting back to actually watching some great football in person. And all of our UCLA Bruins fans and everybody who watches our show, tell us, what are you looking forward to for this football season? What games are you most excited for? And what players do you want to see get back on the field? And so just tell us in the comments. And if you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, thank you so much. All of the shares that you've been doing over to Facebook and YouTube on the community aspects of that, in Facebook groups and all those places, are so helpful to our team. And if you're listening to our podcast, thank you so much. But if you haven't started listening to our podcast yet, jump over and listen anywhere that you listen to podcasts over at 100 Yards of Football. You can listen on Spotify, you can listen on Apple Podcasts, or anywhere that you listen to podcasts. Well, for the entire team here, I am Jeremiah Long, the producer, and you've been listening to our host, Logan Landers, break down the UCLA Bruins 2021 college football team. Let us know if there's any other teams or any other fandom that you'd like us to cover, and we'll be here for you with another live video very soon.